beautiful Aquarian. Y'all got some stuff that's going to be going on. Y'all already have some stuff that's going to be going on. Welcome, welcome everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am the modern day spiritual advisor. I use multiple modalities, including tarot and now astrology as well. I'm going to bring astrology in here to help you on your path. And now the author of my upcoming book series, Concepts Create Reality. So my gorgeous ones, you know I love you. You know you have a special place in my heart. It all started with my other channel, Your Indigo Path. I've since moved the tarot channel over here. I want to thank all of you for making this channel what it is. I just adore you, Aquarians. You know that. I love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. So I thought I'd do something different, right? Because I've got that Gemini and Aquarius in me. So for those of you that are interested in my chart, that's why a lot of people see me as Aquarian, because Aquarian is my rising, but I have like 26 or 29 degrees in it. And if you don't know astrology, you have 30 degrees in each like house or chart or sign or whatever that is. So I have 29 or it's 26 or 29. It's like 29, 23 or something like that. I only have like 7%. I only have 7 degrees Gemini and 8 degrees Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is my moon. So that gives you a little indication about me. That's why a lot of people see me as Aquarian. It's my ascending. And I behave a little bit, all right, a little bit more than a little bit like Aquarian. But I have it all in me. We all have it all in us. So, my gorgeous ones, we have this great thing going on. Enough about me, right? So we have the lunar eclipse that was on August 7th, and then we have the solar eclipses on August 21st. And so we got the solar eclipse, the new moon on top of it. We have the lunar eclipse on August 7th. We have Mercury retrograde starting tomorrow. I wasn't able to get that Mercury retrograde video out because I can only upload 3 videos a day, and it really kind of sucks that I can only do that. Anyway, so what I've decided to do is I looked at the houses that it's going to be affecting you in. And so we'll talk a little bit about the houses, and then I'll give you like Spirit's advice, where you're at, the advice, and then the outcome. So you've got some great, great stuff going on. Some of you, you're not going to be happy because it's the one thing that you do need to be working in. Like you don't want to put your energy into it, but you have to because it's part of your path. So it will depend on the degrees into which you're at in your chart as to how much influence this is. But I don't know that there is a but. It just is. So here we go. You have the lunar eclipse. So the lunar eclipse is all about completion. It's about letting go. It's about those things that you worked hard at or didn't realize you were working hard at. And they're needing to be completed, and you have to let something go, and because you have this other stuff coming, right? And so with the lunar eclipse, even though it was on August 7th, you're going to feel the effects for 2 to 3 months, and mainly the first 30 days. And so with it coming so closely to the solar eclipse, you're going to be doing this back and forth of, because the solar eclipse is about gains. It's about expansion. It's about like, what are you going to be gaining? And if you think about eclipses are like a reboot. They're like that time period in the eclipse where we're dark. That's like the reboot. That's like you turn the computer off, turn it back on, and then it's like the reboot, right? So you get like this whole new energy. You're at 0 point energy, and then you can just sort of go from there, right? So how is it going to be affecting you, Aquarian, right? Well, first of all, in that you have the effects of the lunar eclipse, and then you have the solar eclipse. So you're like doing this back and forth, completion and beginnings, completion and gains, completion and gains. And that can drive a person crazy, especially in the area that y'all are going to have to work in. And some of y'all are not going to want to work in it. I already know, because I'm one of them. So, romantic area. So, anyway, in the lunar eclipse, it is going to be affecting your first house. Now, I'm an Aquarius ascending, so it's really going to be affecting my house, right? That first house. So the first house is all about your identity, who you are, who you were, and who you're going to be. Like that's who you are. That's the identity part of the chart. And so it's affecting that lunar eclipse is affecting that, which means completion of certain things, understanding more so that you can bring in that bigger energy. So it's about the father, and when it's in your ascending, like it's in mine, it's about your whole, like your overall life, your whole identity is what it's affecting. That's what the lunar eclipse is affecting. And remember, it's like a reboot. So what I've done is I've pulled 3 cards. And in this first card, I've asked, I'm sorry, Spirit's already coming in. So in this first card, I asked, what is your position like in this house? What is going on? What do you need to focus on? Where's your position? What's coming up, right? What's going to be that completion of things and what's coming up? So you have the 3 of discs. And for those of you that are wanting to know what the card deck is, it's the Sacred Circle Tarot. I have tarot. I have lots of tarot. This one I haven't used on camera yet, but I haven't worked a lot with it. I've worked some with it. So mostly because I'm a psychic medium, I'm getting messages from Spirit. This is just for me to look at and kind of get a point on your line. That's what I kind of use it for. So the 3 of coins, but that doesn't negate the fact that if you see something, then it resonates with you, then that's for you, okay? So the 3 of coins or the 3 of disc is about dedication. The 3 of disc is something that you're working on really intently. Like not as much as the 8, but you've like really started focusing on this stuff, right? So, and with it being the coins or the pentacles, that's like, this is the physical stuff. This is stuff you're really, really focused on and working on. So with it being in your first house, in your identity, in who you are, and even though it's material, I kind of feel like it's like you and what you're doing in this world, who you really are. Like you're tired of listening to other people. I kind of feel like a lot of you have come to this point where you're like, there's too much freaking chatter around the world and I just want to see who I am, right? Like, I know I've always been alone. I know I've always been sort of isolated. I know I like to go away. I know I like to like do those things, but that's because everybody chatters. But I kind of feel like you're like, I'm listening, I'm hearing, but I really, really need to get centered with me. And so like, this is what I like to do. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. Like, that's what I feel like you're at. That's where I feel like you're at. That's why I feel like this was what this lunar eclipse was about for you. Like working intently on you, on your overall identity, because for some of you, I know my beautiful Aquarians, y'all have so much patience with me. I said this 2 years ago I was going to do an Aquarius video, and I haven't gotten to do it, and I promise I will do it. But I keep forgetting, and then I don't have time. But a lot of you, this is going to sound crazy, I know, but trust me, I've been tested. Been tested all my life. So a lot of you are not from here. A lot of you are... so coming into this body and coming onto this earth and coming into this life, you're like, these people are weird, right? Or I'm weird, or they're weird, or like, and so you sort of grown into that, like, okay, who am I? This is kind of where this is. Who am I? Not just because I know who I'm bigger. I know I'm more than just this life. I understand that. Whether you want to voice it or not consciously, whether you want to tell anybody you know that or not, it doesn't matter to me, Aquarius. I know you. So, you can say this is boohoo, whatever, but it is what it is. So either you come to your center and figure it out or not. That's kind of up to you. But in either case, you are at this point where you're like, okay, who am I? Like, I kind of know where I am. I know that I'm much bigger than this world. I know that there's more than this. I don't know what that is. I don't even know what the science is or any of that is behind it, some of you. But I kind of, I'm not going to fight anymore. I'm not going to fight this world. I'm not going to fight me. I'm not going to fight the bigger power. I am just going to figure out who I am in conjunction with this world, who I am in my placement in this world, what it is that I'm trying to contribute to myself as my own identity and to the world. That's what you're working intently on. That's what's been going on. If you haven't done that, that's going to be prominent in this lunar eclipse. That's going to be prominent in this lunar eclipse. It's further solidified with this card, which is Spirit's advice, the web. The web is about, and I think I said it over here, the web, it's funny how they do that. The web is about learning who you are. So that's their advice. Learning who you are in your identity of yourself, and also learning to incorporate that with all of those things around you, all of those people, all of those situations, all of those whatever. Because you Aquarians can move time. You can, I mean, you can do some really, really great stuff. You can. You're like a really, really evolved souls. You are. Sometimes you just get too conscious about it, and then you're like, we come into this world and you're like, no, I'm not doing that. But you are. You do it. You just may not have a name for what you do. So your learning, your advice in this time period for you is about learning who I am in relation to this world, and what is it that I really have come here to do, and come here to be, and come here to experience, and come here to have in my life. But when they give you the web, they're asking you to sort of step back, because you guys are great at this. You can detach from your feelings, and you can take a step back. You know how to do this. You may not be able to voice that you know how to do this, but you can do this. You can detach from your feelings, from your emotions, and look at the situation, right? And so they're saying, while you're working intently, have that balance of taking a step back, even in the situations that you thought were going to come through and didn't come through, and why did I do so much work and it didn't really happen, and blah, blah, any of that, right? So let me just say this. The solar eclipse is going to be in Leo. We are moving out of aqua energy. Now, I'm going to say this to you guys because I said it to the other ones, because I'm not about hiding anything. I love you, love you, love you. You are like, you have a very, very special place in my heart, but I am tired of aqua energy ruling the world right now, okay? I'm just tired of it. Because aqua energy, as beautiful as it is, it's about humanity. It's about the collective. It's about the collective whole. So this is the reason a lot of people were like working, and only getting a little bit of stuff, right? Because aqua energy is about, we got to give it to everybody. Like, we can't take too much, because everybody has to be even. That's kind of how that energy works, right? We're coming out of that and going into Leo. And Leo is all about, I'm gonna get mine. I worked hard. I'm trying to build a kingdom. I need some resources. F that, I'm getting mine, right? That's Leo. And that's a great thing to be in, because we've done all the Aquarian stuff, right? We've done what we needed to do for the Aquarian time. We were balancing things out. We were trying to find ourselves in humanity. We were trying to lift humanity. And it's not that we're not trying to now. It's just that that's not going to be our focus, because that's been our focus. We are now going to be building our kingdom. That energy is great for, I've worked hard, I'm going to get mine, and you're going to receive more. You're going to be receiving more in this time period. You're going to be, if you have been working hard, like, Leos are not going to work 20 hours a day and not get something. They got to get theirs. That's how Leos are, or they ain't going to do it. So with the web, their advice is, as you're working intently on this, take a step back and look at the situations again, and then balance that and go in and work at it. But when you get frustrated at all these things that haven't come true, at the things that you thought, I worked so hard at it, it was supposed to come true, it kind of came true, but it didn't come the way I wanted it, and so the universe is against me, that's a bunch of crap. It's going to be coming now, okay? The universe is not against you. The universe tells you, the universe brings you what you want, or brings you where you're vibrating at, right? So the web, this brings us to the outcome of this lunar eclipse, because it's the shaman. The shaman is about being a loner, but being a loner in conjunction with or in relation to the world and the earth around him, and using those things around him, he's with the animals. Look at him, he's with the animals. And he comes to a place as a shaman where he has to unlearn his memories, what people have taught him, where he came from, all of that, those things. Because in society, they taught him to repress his ability, where when he becomes a shaman, he has reverted back to his center and learned to use his abilities again, get reconnected with his abilities again, in using the earth and the universe and the hidden realms, especially the hidden realms, right? Being able to manifest those things because he has a bigger understanding of how this universe can work, how it can work, not how it's working now, but how it can work, how our consciousness can be together and do these things, right? So that's what they're saying. You're going to be going through this time period of letting go of older or undoing older perceptions, or older things that you were brought up with. Whatever this is that you're working on it intently and didn't come through the way that you wanted it to come through, doesn't mean that it's not going to come through like that. It's time to take a step back, look at it again. These things and maybe it's because you just need to release the energy. You can't hold it and control it. Just release it so that those things go away and those new things come in. That's what you're going to be working on in this lunar eclipse. Getting back to your center, getting back to who you are, getting back to your abilities, your mystical abilities, those things that you can do, moving time, going forward, coming go backward, figuring it out, manifesting money, manifesting homes, manifesting relationships, which brings me to the solar eclipse, which some of y'all aren't going to like. So this is what's going to be going on for your lunar eclipse. But you will feel this intently, some of you, for the first 30 days. But it can go on for 2 or 3 months, okay? So then we come to the solar eclipse, which has the new moon. So on top of the energy of the solar eclipse, which is a reboot, and it's about gains. Your solar eclipse is about gains. You also have the new moon, which is new beginnings. So this is like, if this isn't the universe trying to tell you, look, it's like new starts. You're going to be getting this stuff. I don't know what it is. If you can't hear it that loudly, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you got to get here to be able to hear it, okay? So, in your first position, this is what you're going to be focused and centered on in the solar eclipse. So you will feel the solar eclipse you can feel the solar eclipse for up to 6 months. You're really going to feel it the first 45 days. So you're going to be having a lot of changes, a lot of gains, a lot of things happening, especially the first 2 months, because that's when you've got the lunar and the solar eclipse both like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? So the solar eclipse is going to be looking at your 7th house. The 7th house, if you don't know, is about relationships, partnerships, things. And the 7th house, I'm going to start doing a series on astrology about these houses because they're really, really interesting. The 7th house is about relationships, but it's the things that you need to work on aren't going to be shown to you unless that person or that thing comes to you, because it's a mirror for you. It's a mirror for you. So you won't know these things until these people come to you. And if you've been isolating yourself, then guess what? You haven't had anything to bounce off of. So it's time for that. And I know some of you went into isolation and hiding and didn't want to date and worried about your money, and you're like, I'm going to be stable and da-da-da, right? But it looks like the universe is trying to tell you it's time. It's time, it's time, it's time. Quit messing around. It's time. So this is all about the relationships that you have, not just with people, but with your money, with your surroundings, with your situations, with your family, with romantic relationships, with your friendships, with all of those things, everything around you. That's kind of what this is about. And in your first position, this tells me the 10 of Cups is you're really, this is what you'll be working on. This is kind of your position. You have a lot of emotion going on in this house because for some of you, you don't know where you're going, or you think you don't. You always do, but you think you don't. You're like, I have tried and I have tried and it's not coming and I don't know what to do, and I've tried and then I've gotten mad at the universe and then I'm not mad at the universe and then I'm trying to do it right and then I'm not trying to, and you're just like, you just have so much emotion, and I think that's why they're having you come back to center, because you've confused yourself a little. Not everybody, this is a general reading, but you've confused yourself. But the thing is you have an open heart. You have a lot invested in this house. This is a really, really important house to you, whether you want to see it or not. And this is part of what you came here to experience. You did, whether you like it or not, come here to experience humanity, come here to experience relationships. You did. And so the seventh house, in itself, the seventh house is about new beginnings. It's going, it's in a solar eclipse, it's requiring you to start new beginnings. It is. That's what it's about. So you're going to be emotionally involved in this. You're going to be, and it's the 10 of Cups. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. These are gains. This is a reward for all of the dedication, for all of the mishaps, for all of the people that did those things to you, for all of the you taking the high road and not saying anything and just letting them do what they were going to do, and you just like, all right, I can't anymore, so I'm going to just go away, right? All of that. These are rewards for those things. Okay, that's your position. So you're sitting pretty in this house, and you're going. So, but I think the issue that I'm having with you guys is because some of you don't want to look at it, but you got to look at it. That's the issue. But listen, you look at these three. I see reward, bounty, and abundance. You can't go wrong. This is what you've been wanting. Remember, Leo is here. Leo energy is like, I'm gonna get mine, and you're gonna get yours. You're going to get yours. So the second position is their advice in this house, right? And their advice with this. And you have the 6 of coins. And they're saying, it's got to balance out, Aqua. It's got to. You've put all this work in it, and we are going to give you the gains, the bounty. You've already laid the foundation. You've already told us what you want, and then you worked on it. Even if you let it go for a little while, you've worked on it. So in relationships, in your money, in your businesses, in all these relationships, there's all types of relationships with your family, with your friends, with lovers. These are all going to be bountiful in the next 6 months. You've got changes coming on. I'm really, really, really excited for you guys, because even though you think it's over and I don't know what to do and I am so frustrated and things started coming in but then they didn't and they weren't and blah, blah, blah. Even though it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because this is what's going to be going on. Let the universe show you. Let them show you the gains that you have worked so hard for. Let the universe show you. Let God show you. Let your angels, let whoever you speak to, whoever it is that you connect with, let them show you. Okay? That's what the 6 of coins is about, balancing out the things that you have worked on. And with it being in the solar eclipse, it's about gains. So you are not only going to gain more relationships, gain more emotion, you're going to gain more material things, more things happening in your life, those things that you have wanted. And so the outcome card is the Ace of coins, or the Ace of discs. It's the abundance card, right? So you're going to have these new beginnings coming in. This is a gateway. This is the thing that starts it all. This is when you do this, when you allow these offerings to come in, these things to come in, these people to come in, you got to let the people in. You got to let them in. When you allow this to come, you're going to be working in the ebb and flow, and you're going to have new beginnings, new gains, new starts to the dreams that you have been wanting, that you have been calling to the universe, that you have been working on. These are the things that are going to be happening for you. So, some of you have like new relationships, that lover's going to come in, that soulmate's going to come in, all that, those people are going to come into your life, those homes, those cars, those things. You've got gains coming in. It's the relationship part that's coming in for you. It's this that you're going to be gained in. It's time for you to connect with humanity, not as a teacher, but as a human with them. Okay, my gorgeous ones? I love you, love you, love you. Bye.